I hope this is it. Here we go. Get up here. Gotta get my other phone going. Hey, who's here? Finally getting to work on this 200T. I know, live event, middle of the day, messes everybody up. Sorry. Hey, Brian. Going okay now. I just had to split this 200T case. So I've got a muffler here for the 200T. It's one thing we were kind of waiting on. But I had to split the 200T case because it had an oil leak. It actually took a shot here, and the case cracked. So the crack is still there, but I split the case, put some JB Weld inside of it, gooped it up really good, and if nothing else, it will leak a lot less than before. So it's not an ideal way to fix it, but it'll be better than it was. So I'll just put the muffler on here and build the rest of the thing up. I did want to do, where did my... Yep, it can be a really good thing. There's no question about it. You know, and this is not ideal. It would be nice to get a new case half and change out the bearings, but we're just not doing that on this build, so kind of hoping the bearings are going to be all right. I think they are. These are always a pain to put on. These are captured, so no wonder this one didn't want to go in. Come on. I don't remember the gasket here being something that actually captures these, but whatever. One. I don't remember a gasket like this. This is definitely odd that it captures the screws. In some ways that's better. I don't like to fully put this down until we have the tank on, so I'm going to get the tank. And visually that looks okay. Can change out the fuel filter in a minute. They never make it so it'll just like slide on, you know. It always has to be finagled some way. Now we need screws for here, which we might have been missing. It's possible we're missing those. Right, it'd be too easy. I mean, why make assembly easy? I don't know. I can't justify that, obviously. Loctite on these. Now I can basically finish off the muffler. Good. One's at the top here. Four people watching. Who showed up? Five people. Just putting together another 200T. Always got to inspect the boot. This one's solid. That's good. Boots are like 40 bucks a shot. This is just grease that I'm going to put around here. I want to be able to get it off. Let's get the flywheel on next. Flywheel key is, I just put it right on the magnet, that way it doesn't get lost. Flywheel nut. A little bit of Loctite, of course. .13mm. Not trying to take it to final torque. I'm not trying to impact it on. Just want to get it on there a little bit. Loctite for these bolts, of course. And I need a business card. Two longer than usual screws and washers here for the ignition coil. And the screws have to go down first before you can actually put the shorting lead, before you attach the shorting lead, rather. That's good up against the magnet there. Nice and easy torque these. I torque them together as even as possible. Move that back. Business card out. Here, let's give it one more torque before I put the shorting lead on. 1, 2. Shorting lead's on. Good. oil cap. I think we can actually put the starter on. Nope, I gotta torque that finally, so let's do that first. It's gonna be like record temperatures here. They're talking like 60 something. Maybe record high today. Nope. She's torqued. Back that off. Pull that out. Yeah, we're having a weird day here. There's no question about that. It is most definitely an odd day for us to have this type of temperature. It's not too out of the question to have like 50s mid-December, but 60 something is pretty odd. That's right, I needed to change out the pawl here. This pawl is pretty worn. Yikes. Oh, here's my new fuel filter. Here's the pawl. Hopefully that'll do. So for those of you that are following along with this build, this particular 200T, I was all ready to go the other night, and I noticed that the darn thing had an oil leak. So it took a shot on the front of it here, and had to make a decision on what to do. And for this build, it's not going to get a new case half. I actually did split it, and I put a new case gasket in and gooped that up with 1184, but I also went in internally and added a nice good layer of JB Quick Weld and sanded it down nice. So if nothing else, it's going to be more sealed than it was. So it should help. It's definitely not the ideal way to do it. It'd be nice to actually have a brand new set of cases and bearings and seals, but that's not happening on this build. Hey, Craig. Craig, you poor guy, the other night, I was feeling for you. As soon as you put that sleeve on there, and I was like, I don't know. And you were just like, you were just going for it, and great. That's stripped. That's fantastic. What is the diameter of the small sleeve? It's 5/8 inner diameter. That rod, the inner diameter is 5/8, which actually is roughly equivalent to 16 millimeter. The outside, the wall thickness on those is about 55 thousandths. So you're looking at, on the small sleeve, the outer diameter, remember the outer diameter of that small sleeve has to fit inside a 19 millimeter seal pocket, mainly for the 044. Or the steel 440 or 044, they have the smallest seals that I have seen. So the outer diameter is roughly 735 thousandths on that small sleeve. If you swaged that onto if you swaged a 16 millimeter inner diameter onto a 17 millimeter crank, which is the inner diameter of 6203 bearings, then you did in fact mushroom that. Which means you watch my video, you live longer. Well, yes, okay, so 744 is not that bad. The design is for it to go inside a 19 millimeter seal pocket. So if you did 744, that will still fit by 6 thousandths, right? 750 is 3/4 of an inch, roughly 19 millimeter. This is actually just string trimmer line that I'm feeding into here because this was stripped. I'm kind of hoping that this will hold it. This was not my idea. Somebody else came up with this idea. Read it, follow instructions. Yes. Well, the truth is, Craig, you know, when I first did this, I really wasn't thinking because there were plenty of guys that have actually flared it out, and I won't tell you the most famous one. But yeah, it had, you know, a well type of thing, you know. When I made them initially, it's not like I was thinking, you know, oh, somebody's going to mess this up or whatever. I didn't know necessarily the ins and outs of what I was doing, and it's been a real job to figure out what works and what doesn't. Definitely gonna be too narrow. Well, you know, live and learn. Hopefully you actually live, you know, to start, right? So yeah, so I just didn't know necessarily what was going to work and what wasn't going to work, and um, remember, I originally had the whole thing designed with a single sleeve in mind. I really didn't want to have multiple sleeves, and I really didn't want to have three. Now and there's no choice. That's the thing, is there really is like no choice with it, and you know there's all kinds of other ideas that you can play with, but as it turns out, having three sleeves, believe it or not, is easiest. And Tim, to answer that question, yes, you can freeze the crank to make it easier, but there's really no point. As Craig was saying, he was probably only putting 10 foot-pounds on there to pull it through. There we go. And kind of the whole point of the tools is to avoid all that stuff, you know? It's a work day. What's everybody doing? Other than obviously hanging out with me. Doing something wrong. Dummy, putting it upside down. And this has to be under there. So many things that have to fit all at exactly the same time. Poulon 4018 and watching me. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Off till Sunday night. So I'm trying to get caught you in the shop. Oh, okay. Cannot cut grass. Gotta get the leaves up. All right. See, there's definitely no leaves now. Not here. I've done this plenty of times, but I still make mistakes. Still miss things, still make mistakes. Let's see, what else do we have here? We got a brand new carburetor. So I guess we can do the top handle. They always send new ones of these with the carburetors. I'm going to go give that a quick wash. Be right back. Must be pretty, Tim. Is that Smoky Mountain country you're in? Appalachian. Got it. Why does that not want to go on there? Now she's on. Near the trail. Cool. Pretty much all of Connecticut's near the trail, if you think about it. I have not, silly me, I just haven't gone that much. Went when I was younger with friends. It was a good time. So we'll do the string trick today. Figured out you don't necessarily have to do the string trick, but you can if you want. Basically, you have to pull this through using the string. There, done. Boom. Okay. What am I forgetting? Frustrating. Outer ring. Inner ring. Definitely don't forget that. The vent can come up and through. The line, just put it near there. Yep, I think we can just throw this on there. Throttle. This is indeed a funky throttle. It gets hung first and then put to the side. As you're putting the carburetor down here, you want to put the choke in, like that. And effectively attach the throttle at the same time. Why is it being so much of a pain? Alright, put the throttle on first. There, throttle's on. Now I'll attach the choke. It definitely is a funky setup. There's really no question about it. Gas line on. So, the throttle, the choke, the gas line, your vent, forgot about this piece. AV mount can go in. Over here. Okay, let's work on the front here. The start of the trail. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool spot to be, Tim. So the black wire goes on. There's just to a spade connector. Again, nothing really fancy on these. Okay, the black line is on the spade connector. The yellow comes over here and attaches to essentially one of the case bolts. The 020 is easier to work on? The AV or the 020T? Because I'm pretty sure the 020T is basically the same saw. And I've heard the 020 AV is a pain. Okay, so that functions okay. Black part goes on here. A couple of 8mm screws. So we pull the engine out of the case. Okay. I'm pretty sure that the 200T is the identical saw. Or the 020T is an identical saw to this. With the exception of the transfers, I don't know if there's anything else on there that's different. The carburetor was a little bit of a different style originally, but the updated carburetor works fine. Alright, let's work on fuel filter. Incidentally, these are kind of tough to get out. Come on. And it ain't moving. Come on. Stop. See, I can't, with these fuel lines, you can't just pull it straight out. It doesn't work. Hey, Ken. There, you have to pull the filter out, butt in first, essentially. Great. I just wrecked the fuel line. I don't think I have another fuel line. Old school one here that doesn't help. Okay. Need a fuel line. Would have been easier to put the fuel line on before. Shucks. Well, I might as well put it on anyway. But hey, David. Early for you, huh? You just get up? Yeah, see, there's just a little slice right here. So it'll work for testing, but I need to get a new fuel line. Hey, Justin. Everybody's showing up. This is great. Hey. No noise outside. I'm downstairs. I'm live on YouTube. What, you want me to start something? Oh, well. That's fine. It can pour if it wants to. I'll find an excuse. even to go out in the rain. Yeah, hopefully we don't have that. Could have a flood of the front. That's right. Where the logs are? Where's the puddle? Oh, really? Wow. Right, because it's all downhill to us. Yeah, great. We'll have a river soon. Great. All right, well. Yeah, I know, but nope. Let me get back. Let me get back to my YouTube here. I'm live here. Let me get back to that. But yeah, I'll be around this afternoon. Christopher's home, not feeling good. So I'll be around. All right. Bye. Yeah, this is the 200T leaker. Look what I forgot. What are the odds I'm going to be able to fit that down in there? Well, I guess I need to put a fuel line in it anyway. Gonna have to take the whole darn thing apart. Fantastic. Well, I guess let's see it. Lovely. Pain in the neck. Yep, we have to take the whole darn thing apart. I'll do the fuel line And I have to do that stupid piece. Great. But we'll check and make sure the thing runs here. Paul's got to break in a little bit. Look at this. What the heck? Oh, the clutch is on. We're good. Just don't know why that darn pole doesn't want to grab. Golly. You know, you stick new parts in things. Brand new OEM stuff. Check it, you make sure it works. Nope, not good enough. I don't know. I just don't know. Tell me that's not frustrating. Yes, it does run. What do you do? It doesn't matter whether it runs or not. Who friggin' cares? It's not done. I gotta take it apart. Again. The gas tank off. It's missing the washer right here, I think. the washer feels too loose. Not the washer, the spring. There we go. Great. Toenails. Oh, I thought it was I thought you said tonsils there, Ken. I was like, well, tonsils are kind of difficult, and there's high risk doing tonsils. Anyway. Of course, I don't have the fuel line, so I'm not really going to get very far here, even if I do take all this stuff off. I was done with the project. I really was. Move on to the 394s. Nope, never mind. I was the one that said I do want to be able to get this off. Take off the stinking flywheel because I can't get the rest of this off without doing that. Of course, that rubber grommet's leaking anyway. Great. Whatever. Okay, well, let's put this part in before I forget that again. There, just a shield, I guess. Now I gotta go order that, and I can put the rest of it together. Yeah, best to catch now, no question. It's just frustrating. Okay. I'm gonna go call the dealer, see if they got one now. If they do, then I'll go get it. If not, then I don't know. Either way, I've had fun. And I think I'm going to call it a day, actually, because I've got other stuff to do today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will catch you guys later, I think. Anybody have any questions before I get going? And yeah, Craig, I think you're going to be okay with that. Again, as long as if that fits inside a 19 millimeter seal pocket, you'll be fine. Um, if you need a new one, let me know. Craig, does the saw run good? Does it run? I don't think there are that many people rebuilding 576s, so you know, I just haven't heard of lots of people doing the rebuilds. I know Walt does, and obviously you're doing one, but um, I don't know of too many people that are doing the 576s. Good. Well, I hope you like it. I hope it works for you. So we'll catch you guys later. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if anybody has any questions, they can always email me. Okay, take care, guys. I may be back later. Who knows?